And today we're finding out what you think is the best superpower of all time. Now, we've got an absolute unbelievable roster. And we've got shape shifting. We've got flying. Okay, we've got super intelligence. Talking to animal communication is this one here. We've got healing versus elasticity. Then underneath that, we've got invisibility versus weather control. Top right, I believe that one there is telepathy. Underneath that one is pyrokinesis, which is the ability to summon fire. Super speed. Underneath that one is X-ray vision. Underneath that one is super strength. Underneath that one is teleportation. And then the final battle is telekinesis, which is the ability to move things with your mind, versus time control. So this one here is the list of 16. In each single one, we're going to talk about the individual power and like how we've seen it maybe depicted in film or whatever, but also how you would use that power in real life. Like, how good is that power, genuinely? So we're going to go through each of these one by one in these brackets. And of course, as you know, with Floppy Favorites, you vote for them in the chat. And if you're watching this outside of the stream, make sure you come to the Twitch stream so you can get involved in the shows like this. Starting off with the first one, everybody, we got shape-shifting versus flight. As I mentioned, shape-shifting, changing your person. Oh, I want to become the King of England. I can just become him. And then I'll turn back eventually. You have control to be that vision for as long as you want or not. Versus flying. Flying about, very easy to understand. For me, no doubt about it, it's shape-shifting. Guys, flying isn't what it's cut out to be. Shape-shifting to someone famous, get one of their private jets. Bosh, easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm going shape-shifting. Let me know what you would go for, shape-shifting or flying. Flying would be fun until you get into contact with birds. Someone that's scared of birds, it doesn't sound like my cup of tea. 8 votes on shape-shifting, meaning that will go through to the next round. You could shape-shift into absolutely anybody. I could shape-shift into a massive streamer and basically collab with myself somehow. Moving over to the next one, we got super intelligence versus animal communication. Which for you would be the better superpower to have? Super intelligence, you could go silly and say you'd ace all your tests, and it's actually applicable to real life. You could get a real usage out of it. You could get the best job in the world. You could take over the world with super intelligence, as we saw in some films and TV that we've watched of superpower beings. Animal control, what real usage do you get out of that other than it being quite cool? Oh, I can talk to my dog. Super intelligence means you'd know every language in the world, so you could be a translator. You could know, you'd know every musical instrument. You'd be able to learn everything like that. Whereas animal, you could just talk to animals. That's quite a lonely place to be. Super intelligence is the clear winner there, 9 votes to 4. It's elasticity versus healing. Of course, the first one is healing. The second one is elasticity. If you don't know what I'm referring to there, Mrs. Incredible, Mr. Fantastic, stretching around your limbs and all your malarkeys. Healing is being able to heal someone with your powers. Easy as you like. Elasticity is just a cool ability. It's not really goated. It would definitely wouldn't be considered the best. Moving over to the next bracket. Of course, this is a tournament bracket. We're trying to find out what the best superpower is. Invisibility versus weather control. So invisibility, you disappear, completely invisible. There's no indication that you're there whatsoever. Weather control, you get to control the weather. Free flights, free access to any concert, matches, etc. The weather in Ireland is minor inconvenience as well. The only thing with invisibility is if someone can bump into you. So if you were hiding on a plane, where would you hide where you wouldn't get bumped on? Invisibility it is. All right, we're moving over to the right-hand side of the bracket. We have got, I believe this one is telepathy. Having telepathy means having the ability to send or receive thoughts, feelings, and images directly from one mind to another. This is versus pyrokinesis, which is the first time I've learned that actually is a word, and that is the ability to muster up fire, as Johnny Storm does in the Fantastic Four. So pyrokinesis versus telepathy. I actually went for telepathy there, but would I prefer being able to read people's minds? The only thing I'd benefit telepathy for is if I could work out, you know what, I'm an overthinker, so actually telepathy for sure. I'd like to know what people are thinking. Only winning by 1 point. Telepathy beats pyrokinesis by 1 point. Who's gone for pyrokinesis? Have we got some what's the word? What's people when they burn stuff? Arson. We've got some arson people in the chat. All right, guys, this one I think is the easiest one of the bunch from the top of my head. It's super speed versus X-ray vision. I'm ready to start straight away. 6 people thought super speed would be better. I think the idea of super speed is better than the applicability of it. For example, how tired would you get? Sweaty as well, little things like that. Moving over to the next round, guys, we've got super strength versus teleportation. There isn't like any qualms about this one. You can, in my head, you can teleport from anywhere, A to B. There isn't like you can only teleport a couple meters. No, you can teleport from A to B. Super strength, you are the strongest being in the world. Teleportation is free travel. Free travel, you save time on traveling, you know. You're going to the moon. I can't lie, and I mean this in the kindest way possible, Goblin. That is the worst use of teleportation I've ever heard in my life. Who the hell thinks I'm going to teleport to the moon? No, I'm going to teleport to the shops. Come back. Go. Oh, I forgot to get some, you know, cookies. Teleport. There, back, done. Do you know what I mean? Teleportation takes the lead and goes to the next one. We've got telekinesis, the ability to move things with your mind, such as Star Wars with the Force. That is basically telekinesis. Or time control, to be able to pause time, fast forward time, rewind time. You can't jump from A to B, but you can get there by rewinding time. There would be ramifications of doing that, though, of course. If you rewind time, the butterfly effects, if you change something there, the future wouldn't be the same. Those things all come into the equation for that one. I think we already know what the winner of the poll is going to be. Oh, wait, it was time manipulation, yeah. 3 people went for that. Fair enough. Time manipulation is what I thought would go through there as well. Round 1 of the quarterfinal. It's shape-shifting versus super intelligence. Now, you can't shape-shift into somebody that is super smart and then get their thoughts and anything. You can only just physically turn into them. So that's clearly where people are going to differ on this one. Everyone's going super intelligence, but I actually think we see it in the boys, and I'm not going to spoil it, but being super smart and intelligent kind of like isolates you from the world, because you're not going to be able to relate. You're like things like football. Like you wouldn't have fun with things anymore. You just wouldn't, because your brain would just be on. Oh, it'd just be boring, mate. And then if you know everything, then what's there to learn? So shape-shifting goes through. Shape-shifting is into the semi-finals. Okay, we're going to move over to the next one. Healing versus invisibility. Everyone get your votes in. Which one is your favorite of the two? Which one is the best of the two? Realistically, guys, if we're being honest, it's healing. And there's no real debate there either. If anyone does genuinely pick healing, invisibility over healing, there's 2 reasons. Either A, you are actually a creep, or B, you're looking to do more malice with your powers than good. Do you know what I mean? Healing, there is no negatives to being able to heal. Whereas invisibility, it's robbing a bank, it's, you know, breaking an entry in, you know, free shows and stuff. Healing wins that one. I thought that was going to happen quite obviously there. Obviously not shifting the votes by any means. Telepathy versus super speed. Being able to read minds or being able to run fast as fuck, boy. See, this one, I'm still going telepathy, you know. Actually, I don't know. Super speed's got so much more applicability in my day-to-day. I just get from A to B so much quicker. I'm going to go super speed. Getting from A to B is always going to be what I deem the better power. If I can get from A to B quicker, that removes one of the biggest annoyances in everyday life. You know, traveling is the thing that's the most annoying. All right, telepathy goes through. You guys want to read minds? Teleportation versus time control. Teleportation versus time control, guys. Get your votes in. This one, I'm sorry, is easy. Time control is fantastic in the sense that I can pause time and like get dedicated time to do stuff, but that's also just not what, like, it seems a bit far-fetched. Whereas I get all my time back by teleporting everywhere. I don't have to travel for 3, 4, 5 hours in a week to do stuff. I can travel for 30 seconds. The winner there, in my opinion, was obviously always going to be teleportation, but it was closer than I thought. All right, into the semi-finals. The first semi-final is shape-shifting versus healing, and then telepathy versus teleportation. I'm surprised telepathy's got this far, but obviously it's been benefited by the side of the draw that it's on. All right, guys, this is the final, the first semi-final. It's shape-shifting versus healing. It's got to be healing, guys. Shape-shifting would benefit you more, but healing, you can heal yourself. Heal your loved ones. I'm sorry, actually, I didn't even think about that properly in the moment. Healing your loved ones. As times get on, people get older and more frail. Healed. I'm not saying live forever, but healed for me, it's got to be healing. Shapeshifting can only do so much for you. There's definitely a barrier of how much you could get to do with shapeshifting. It would get pointless after a while. Okay, as expected, healing goes through to the final. Moving to the second semi-final and the final semi-final. The penultimate voting round, we have got teleportation versus telepathy. Get your votes in now. For me, I'm having teleportation over telepathy any day of the week. Well, it's an absolute landslide, guys. It's 7 votes for teleportation and 1 vote for telepathy. All right, guys, we're in the final. We are in the final. Healing versus teleportation. What is the best power possible? You might disagree with this. Leave a comment down below if you do disagree with it in the chat or in the comments. Here we go. The poll is here. There's a realm, yeah, healing could allow your loved ones to be alive longer than maybe they're able to due to ailments. But teleportation also allows you to spend more time with your loved ones because you don't need to spend multiple hours traveling. So I'm going teleportation. I don't disagree that it's an easy choice because I think they both have like very good reasons, and one could really just make you go for it over others. But I could spend more time with loved ones with teleportation. Therefore, you know, just go from A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B. Teleport is nothing to do with being lazy, Goblin. There's no world that you're deemed lazy if you don't want to do a 3 hours worth of traveling. Teleportation, yes, to get from here to the end of the road, that's lazy, but teleport people to the best doctor in the world, exactly. Teleportation is the winner. Damn, based on how you lot were speaking, teleportation is deemed the best, apparently, according to everyone in the community. I'm quite shocked by that. I thought healing would win it by what was being said in chat. Teleportation is the winner. It is the best superpower, according to the Floppylegss family and those that were in chat at the time of doing this on stream. I actually can reveal, guys, I predicted this at the very beginning. Teleportation for me is the best superpower